All right, the last part we're going to do here is slopes parallel and perpendicular lines. If two lines are parallel, they have the same exact slope. So the slopes of parallel lines are the same. The slopes of perpendicular lines are opposite sign and reciprocal. So let me show you an example. If I have y equals 1/2 x minus 3, and I have another equation, y equals 1/2 x plus 2, the slopes are exactly the same. That means when I graph these two lines, they're going to be parallel. So if one of your y-intercepts at -3, this y-intercept is at 2, and their slopes are the same, which means they'll always go up 1 over 2. They will never intersect because they will constantly go in the same direction. Okay? Now, if I want it to be perpendicular to this line, it would have to be opposite of this sign. So to be perpendicular, we need a positive slope, and we have a negative slope. They create 4 right angles. So you take the opposite of this sign, that's positive, it's negative, and then you flip it. 2 over 1, which is the same as -2x. So that's what perpendicular is. So let's do an example right here. So if you have a slope that's 4/3, perpendicular would be opposite and flip it. Now let's say you have -2. If I want it perpendicular, you know this symbol means perpendicular. Perpendicular to -2 would be opposite of that sign, which is positive. And what's the flip of 2? This is actually -2 over 1. So if I flip it, it's going to be 1 over 2. Okay? Now, when you have x equals 2, that's a vertical line. Y equals 2 is horizontal. These will be perpendicular. This slope is undefined. This slope is 0. Well, opposite of 0 can't be -0. So if you have a horizontal vertical line, these are perpendicular. All right, so number 15, let's look at these two equations. If I was to solve for y here, I'd go ahead and add 8x to both sides. I have 8y equals 8x divided by 8, y equals x. My coefficient of x here is 1, so therefore my slope is 1. Now when I look at this equation right here, if I solve for y, I'm going to choose to add y here, then subtract 4. So I'm going to do some mental math here. It's going to be x minus 4. My slope here is also 1. These are exactly the same, so that means that these two lines are parallel.